Welcome, my name is Diana and this is MetCon 19.0. It's our week 2, which is our slow tempo with our easy contractions. All right, I'm so excited that you're joining me today. We'll run through our supplies and then we'll go ahead and warm up our body and move into 2 circuits, which are each 7.5 minutes in length, and then finish up with a cool down today, okay? Today our equipment includes a light resistance exercise band. This can have the handles off, or of course if it's handled and they don't remove, you can keep those on. We're going to also use a medium dumbbell set. Today I'm using my 15s for my medium dumbbells. And then we're going to use a heavy to use singular dumbbell or kettlebell. For that, I'm going to use my 20-pound kettlebell. All right, that could also be, once again, subbed out for a singular heavy to use dumbbell. And we're going to use our open floor space, preferably with a mat beneath you. And we're also going to use a wall for some balance support, okay? Water is always encouraged for these classes. So once again, we're using a light to you resistance band. We're gonna grab a medium dumbbell set. We're gonna grab a heavy to you kettlebell or singular dumbbell. We need our wall space and our mat surface on the floor. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start off with a yoga squat. This is gonna open the inner thighs. Step your feet out almost as wide as your sumo stance squat, and we're gonna come down into a yoga squat and actually push the elbows into the inner thighs. If that's not accessible and you're up here a little bit higher, I'm gonna have you use your palms and press into the inside of your kneecaps, okay? Press your way back up to the top of that squat, and then bring yourself back to your range at the bottom. Stretch out the inner thighs. Good, that's 2. And 3. Here's 4. And 5. Beautiful. We're going to actually keep the feet wide like that, but turn the feet in so that they're parallel to each other. Send your arms out to your T shape, and we're going to alternate hand to opposite toe for a windmill. That's 1 and 2. Here's 3 and 4, 5. Excellent. And release. Okay, we're going to grab a band next. All right, that light to you resistance band. And we're going to take our shoulder circles. For 5, walk your hands in close enough that there's a good stretch, especially as you move through this zone where you're about directly behind the shoulders right here, stretching across the front of your shoulders and your chest. Good. This is 5. And release. And we're going to go ahead then and move over to that wall of yours and catch your heel behind your hip. We're going to do 2 things. First, we're going to shorten the abdomen, and then we're going to tuck the tailbone to make the stretch deepest through the front of the hip and thigh. Stay here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Excellent, friends. Go ahead and rotate right around. Catch the other foot. Go ahead with that core lock and then that tailbone tuck. Pull the heel in behind the hip. Big breath in. Big breath out. Excellent, friends. So go ahead and treat yourself to a sip of water. That concludes our warm up. We're going to move into our first MetCon circuit. This one is going to be our 30 seconds each. It means that we're going to move through 3 exercises for 5 rounds or 5 sets, if you will, and that's going to complete our 7.5 minutes. Today we're going to get started with a low grip sumo squat. Okay, we really got the hips and the inner thighs opened up. And we're going to step out to our sumo squat position, and we're going to reach down for that heavy to you dumbbell or kettlebell, And we're gonna move up and down through our most full range of motion, sumo squat, right here, okay? Notice how I'm pointing my knees out over my middle toes to really open through that squat, okay? Couple of things when we lift, we're gonna lift the pelvic floor, and at the top, we're going to squeeze the glutes, okay? So lots happening in that movement. After that exercise, we're gonna move right into our all fours renegade row. So this is where we're in our quadruped position. We're gripping our medium to you dumbbells, and we're gonna alternate our row side to side for 30 seconds, okay? That's an exercise for your upper back, so we're squeezing the shoulder blade towards the spine. Last but not least, in this circuit, we're gonna drop into a forearm plank. All right, 30 seconds in our forearm plank. Elbows are down, toes are back. We're gonna tighten up our glutes, lift our belly button, and then you're gonna pull your elbows towards your toes to really activate that shortening of the abdomen, okay? So that is our circuit number one, our MetCon number one. Once again, 30 seconds at each of these exercises. Go ahead and set up your space in a way that's gonna really flow for you to move from each of those to the next, okay? We're gonna start here in about 7 seconds. All right, toes out, tall posture, shoulders down and back. Here we go, sumo squats for 30 seconds. Three, 2, and 1. Release it. Drop down to all fours. We're using those dumbbells. They're squared right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips. Squeeze the shoulder blade toward the spine, and then keep your chin tucked down so that the back of your neck is long. Three, 2, 1. Move right to the side of those weights. Forearms down, toes back. Tuck your tailbone, brace your core, pull your elbows towards your toes. Three, 2, 1. Press up. Grab the heavy to you, dumbbell or kettlebell again, feet wide. Sumo squats. Three, 2, 1. Clear your space and renegade rows. Here we go. Three, 2, 1. Release it. Forearm plank. Drop in. Tighten and pull those elbows towards the toes. Four, 3, 2, 1. Press up. Sumo squat. Step wide. Here we go. You can challenge yourself to actually get your hips deep enough to touch that kettlebell or dumbbell all the way down to your mat surface. and release. Great work, back to renegades. And release it, move into your forearm plank. Good, walk it up. And moving into our third round, moving into our fourth round. We've completed 3, we've got 2 to go. 2. Good, 3, 2, 1, release it. Awesome work, renegades. And release it for our plank. 2-minute warning. Four, 3, 2, 1, press your way up. Last round with the sumo squat, step wide. Here we go. Three, 2, and 1. Set that aside, drop into your quadruped. Here we go. Even on the last set, make sure your form is good. Knees under hips, palms under shoulders, neck long. And release it, finishing with your best plank yet. Toes back, tuck the tailbone, pull those elbows towards the toes. And walk it up, grab some water, take a quick rest while you look up here and learn about what our next circuit, our second MetCon circuit, has in store for us. All right, so our second circuit is where we use our rep-based movements, okay? So this one is going to be 10 reps each instead of our 30 seconds. We're going to use those medium to U dumbbells for our first exercise, which is our dumbbell deadlift, okay? This is a top-down Romanian deadlift. We're going to start with the weights at the hip crease. We're going to put a soft bend in the knees, and we're going to send the hips back. Notice how my back is flat and my shoulder blades are retracted. And then I'm going to use my glutes and my hamstrings to power up to the top, okay? I'm gonna take 10 reps and then set those down. Next, I'm gonna move up to the top of my space and I'm gonna take a reverse lunge into a knee driver, okay? Let me give you a different angle of that so you see I'm making 90-degree angles and then I'm driving my knee. 90-degree angles and driving my knee, okay? We're gonna take 10 of those on each leg and then we're gonna finish down on the floor. We're gonna take the medium to you dumbbells. I want you to wrap them on your thighs, just below, or it's just above your knees. We're gonna rock the weights up, and then we're gonna perform a floor chest press, okay? Elbows are gonna come out at the bust line, and then press straight up over the chest at the top, okay? Watch the way that we get out. We're gonna bring the weights to the knees. We're gonna rock up, and then set those weights in position to get ready to use them for the dumbbell deadlift, which comes next, okay? So once again, we're gonna go ahead and move through this for 7.5 minutes. It's 10 repetitions of each, and that often means that we're not actually gonna get a full 5 rounds, but we'll get somewhere close to that, okay? Let's go ahead and get started. Dumbbells ready. All right, and begin. Hinge, pull them to the hip crease, and then slight bend in the knees. Work that perfect hinge that utilizes glutes first, hamstrings secondary, low back, right, is third in the chain of what we're using here, okay? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Set those aside. We're going to go ahead and make sure we have space behind us for this reverse lunge into knee driver. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Yes, you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent, friends. Second side. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Go ahead and take your seat. Pick up the weights. Weights to thighs. Rock back. Press the weights up. Elbows down. Press to the midline. 10, 9, 8, 7. Press your low back into the floor. 6, 5, 4, here's 3, 2, and 1. Weights to thighs again. Rock and roll up. We're gonna go right back into our hip hinge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Set those down. Reverse lunge. Find your space. Step it back. Drive it through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. Second side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Amazing. Grab your weights, come to the floor, rock it back, press it up. Press your low back in to that floor surface beneath you. 1, 2, out at the chest line, up over the chest. 3, 4, work the breath in, work the breath out. 5, 6, 7, here's 8, 9, and 10. Yes, you can. Weights to knees, rock up. Good. Feet parallel, right into your hinge, down, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Gorgeous. Set those aside. Reverse lunge to knee driver. Here we go. Back. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. We're back into our chest press. Rock it up, press it up. We've got about a minute and a half to go. Here's 10, and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, you can do it. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Weights to knees, rock it up. Step it back, feet parallel, hip hinge. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release it. Gorgeous friends, we've got just about 20 seconds, so we're going to alternate our reverse lunge to knee driver. Right side, left side. Great job. Right side and left side. 1 more each. Right and left. Beautiful work, friends. Grab a sip of water. Congratulate yourself with that big pat on the back. That completes our week 2 of our MetCon. That's our slow tempo, our easy contractions, but it's still a great workout. I hope you're feeling all of those wonderful effects. We're gonna move into our cool down from here. Feet are out at shoulders distance. We're gonna start with our standing torso twists. We're gonna let our arms kind of be like pendulums, extensions of the upper body. Rotate through your midsection. Maybe a couple of these where you actually let the hips swivel with you. And then a couple where you hold the hips stationary and you work that rotation up the torso, up the spine. Great job, friends. All right, from here we're gonna move into our standing thoracic back bends with our elbow drop. So we're gonna take a overhead reach and then take a goalpost arm, lift your chin and chest. Good, 5 like that. Breathe in as you reach up. Breathe out, take that back bend. I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see. Reach up and pull down, that's 3. Here's 4 and 5. Awesome work, friends. Lots of glutes in this workout today. We're gonna come down to the floor. Go ahead and crisscross your right ankle over your left knee. Wrap your hands behind your left knee. Lie back, pull that leg in. 5 deep breaths right here. Release it. Go ahead and cross to the second side. That's going to be the left leg over the right. Catch behind the right knee. Pull it in. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that crisscross. Awesome work. We're going to drop the soles of our feet down to the mat, just a little bit out from our hips. We're going to bring the inner sides of the feet towards one another and then drop the knees out wide, bringing the soles of the feet to touch. Go ahead and drop your arms out in either that goalpost shape or out in your T shape. All right. And then just like we've been talking quite a bit about connecting the low back to the mat, go ahead and see if that rotation of the pelvis actually supports a little bit more inner thigh opening, all right, and a little bit more low back lengthening. Okay, 5 deep breaths right here. Amazing work, my friends. Bring your arms down. Draw your knees back up and together. If you'd like, you can rock and roll up with me. I do want to remind you that this is a great place to finish any stretches that you're needing in your movement today. So maybe there's been some that I've assigned to you. Maybe there's some that you're following yourself that really help you start or end your day. I want you to jump into whatever those stretches are, because this is this beautiful little juncture where our body is really like warmed up and primed and ready to work on mobility. So thank you so much for joining me in today's MetCon class. I had so much fun moving with you. As always, if you had any questions or concerns about your individual program, I want you to direct those to me at diana@bridgefitnesstraining.com. I hope you go forward and have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to catch up with you soon in my next live or recorded class. Until then, take great care of yourself. Bye-bye.